Alexa, lower. Good morning. Hello, hello. Okay, here we go. Ready?
Hi.
How are you?
Oh, I'm okay. I want to hear. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, I know. So,
Okay, we'll get it done. We'll get it
Okay.
done.
Get it done. Okay, feet hip width. Sorry, not hip width, feet to the edges of the mat. Take a nice big deep breath and keep the arms wide like you're making a Y or V with your body. And then shift the hips one way and then the other way. And while you're holding your arms like this, I want you to try to pull your shoulders apart from one another. Now just neutral, keep your hips neutral and then sweep the arms up and then take it all the way down, let your head go. So just totally unweight the upper body. Just hang out here for a couple of breaths. Okay, now we're going to inhale and extend to a flat back. And now take it all the way back up again and reach the arms straight up. And then let's do it again. Come on back down. Now you're going to inhale and extend the spine. And then fold it back down. We're going to walk our feet so that they're hip width apart. Now you're going to hang out here in this full fold. I want you to shift your hips backwards. Now inhale and extend the spine. Walk your fingertips forward so you feel the lats stretching. Take a big deep breath. And as you exhale, just fold it back down. Now we're going to roll up one vertebrae at a time. Nice and slowly, spread out the chest, big deep breath in, and then take it all the way back down again. This time, we're going to put the hands to the floor, baby steps forward, meet me in high plank. Once you get there with your shoulders over the wrists, I want you to pull back to a downward dog. Really try to push the heels towards the floor and get the legs nice and straight. Now we're going to get up on the tippy toes and come back to plank. We're going to do that 2 more times, nice and slow. Pull it back, heels push towards the floor. Now lift those heels all the way up, come back forward to plank, and we're going to do it 1 more time. Take it back. And elevate those heels, come back to plank, step your feet into bear, and from here, take it to that small downward dog. Still pushing those legs nice and straight with your heels on the floor this time. Back to your bear position. And 2 more times. We're going to the small dog. Elevate the heels, back to bear, and 1 last time. Now we're going to come down, put the knees on the floor, walk your wrists in so they're right underneath the shoulders, and let's take this and do some cat-cows. So big arch of the back, and then reverse it. Make sure we're drawing the belly button up and in. And just keep going at a nice pace that feels good. Okay, let's find a neutral spine. I want you to extend your left arm forward and your right leg backwards. So both limbs are nice and long and your hips are square. And then Find yourself back on the floor and switch sides. And back onto all fours. Tuck those toes under if they're not already. Elevate into bear. Just hold it here for 5 counts. Now put the knees back down. Come onto the tops of your feet. Have a seat over those heels. So you feel a nice stretch just above the ankles and through the shins. Come back to bear. 5 counts, knees up. Knees down. Sit it back. And one last time, 5 counts in bear. And now straight into a small downward dog. Walk your hands back to your feet. Roll up 1 vertebrae at a time. Nice. Okay, feet are hip width. We're just going to do a nice big side body stretch here. So take the arm up, get it long, and get it over. Now you can let that hip go to the right. Bring it back, and then switch sides. Sweep. Nice long arm. Let the hip go out. And then again, other side. So it's all about keeping that arm nice and straight and really reaching it up. Okay, great job. Hands to heart. I want you to pick up your left foot. Circle the ankle. Go the opposite way. Now point and flex. Great job. Hold on to that foot with the left hand. Reach the right arm straight up. Now you're going to push, excuse me, that foot into your hand. And then release it. Hands to heart, right knee comes up. Circle the foot. Go the opposite way. Point and flex. So much to do, so little time. Okay, find that right foot. Sweep the left arm up. Whoops, and push that foot tight into the hand. Great job. Okay, turn and face the right side of the room. I'm going to have you take your feet pretty far apart. We're going to do some lateral work here. So I want you to lunge down to the right, just low enough that you feel a stretch through that left inner thigh. Just kind of hang out here. It's not your deepest squat you've ever done. And then come back up and switch sides. Just go as low as you need to find that stretch. And then do it again. And again. Nice. Now we're just going to fold down, let the top of the head just release. Hold here, take a few deep breaths. Really try to puff out those ribs. And then we're going to inhale and extend the spine. Shift your hips backwards. Left arm comes up, lift that left shoulder up. Now you're really going to feel a stretch through that right inner thigh. And then do it on the opposite side. And again. Don't let those hips pull forward, keep moving them back. And again. And now relax the head. Hang out here for a breath or two. And then we're going to roll up slowly. Nice job. Okay, that's your warm-up. We're going to start with some squats and some bicep curls. So whatever weights float your boat today, grab them. Here we go. Feet hip width apart. You're going to squat down, bicep curl when you come up. Squat, and curl. You go as low as you're comfortable. The arms work full range. Try to not lower the arms too quickly. You really want to work the negative of the move. Okay, hold the arms up here. Turn your feet out so you're in sumo squat position. Squat down with your knees going out. Lower the weights to the floor and curl as you lift back up. Do it again. Come down slow. Curl up. Down. Nice deep squats if you can. Couple more. Okay, put those down. We're going to do some tricep extensions. I'm going to use a long band. You can do that or you can use weights. So I'm going to start working the left side first. So I'm just going to create tightness in this band and then start working that left arm. Up and down slow. If you'd rather do 2 weights at a time, go for it. Make sure you're not dropping your chin. Keep that neck nice and long. Few more. Okay, you're going to switch arms. Working the right one. Neck long. Here we go. Make the band tight. Arm comes up and down. All about standing nice and tall, keeping that head up. Make sure that band is tight. Whether you're using a band or a weight, don't go too fast. Couple more here. Okay, get rid of that. Okay, so the arms get a little break. We're going to use our band around the ankles, and I also have my ball. We're going to do outer thighs and inner. So here we go, starting with the outer. Small band around the top of the ankles, lying down. Legs are nice and straight. Try to move them forward a little bit so you feel like you have to really engage the belly. And then open wide. And then bring it back together pretty slow. And just sort of do 10 of these. Nice and slow. Let's try to get them as wide as we can before we start to bring them back together. So if you're really working each of these as best you can, by the time you get to 10, you should be pretty tired. We're going to do 3 rounds. Make sure those heels are not drifting back. Little pause when you extend out so you can make sure you can't go any further. Last 2. Okay, so keep the band around the ankles if you can. Find your Pilates ring or your ball, whatever you're going to use for your inner thighs. And let's get busy here. So between the knees, big squeezes, 10 of them. So in really hard, out slowly, just for 10. First round is really more of a warm up than anything. You can do a nice little pelvic tilt so you feel that lower back on the floor. Two more. Nice. Now, arms on the floor by your side. You still have your ring or your ball between the legs. I just want you to pick your feet up and then pull the knees into the chest and then put the feet back down on the floor nice and slow. Do that 9 more times. Pull the knees in. Now squeeze that ring while you're doing this. And you have 8 more. Make sure your feet are touching the floor every time. You can keep that lower back down on the floor and keep drawing that belly down. Last 4. Keep squeezing, it should be challenging now. Okay, release the ring, but keep it handy because you're going to use it again. Now we're going to go back to these outer hips. So legs up, take the feet forward so they're a little bit in front of the hips. Now open nice and wide. Give yourself a little pause before you start to bring them back together. Do that 9 more times. Remember, those heels are going to want to drift back. Try to keep them forward. Last 4. Okay, feet down, find that ring again. Get it between the legs. Start out with 10 with your feet on the floor. Low back skin pressing down. You've tilted the pelvis up. Big old squeeze. It's got to be at least a 3 count squeeze. No momentum here. Okay, last 10. You pick the feet up while you squeeze and then lower back down. You pull those knees in as close as you can each time and keep the tightness so the activation of the inner thighs doesn't get a break until you complete these 10. You're squeezing the entire time. Your lower back should stay down on the floor. Keep pushing it down. Okay, release it. Put it off to the side. Back up with a straight leg. Last round of this. Open wide. Little pause just to make sure you've gone as far as you can, and then close nice and controlled. Be about halfway. If you've done more, you're going too quickly. Okay, last time for inner thighs. Here we go. Find your ball, your ring. Big old squeeze. 9 more times. Last few. And now we're going to bring those knees into the chest while we squeeze and put the feet back down. Make sure your heels are touching the floor also. Should be about halfway. Last one. Nice. Okay, release that ball. You can take the band off too. We're going to do a little mobility work for our hips. So let's take the feet straight up to the ceiling, no equipment. Open the legs nice and wide. Now I want you to bend the legs while they're open wide. Bring the toes together, the feet to touch. And then pull the knees together as you extend the feet straight up to the ceiling. We'll do that again. Open, bend at the knee, connect your feet, straighten those legs and let the knees come back together. A few more times. Go nice and slow. Last one. Next. Now from here, we're going to go right into a happy baby. So hold the outsides of the feet as you bend at the knee and then push those heels up towards the ceiling. As you use your arms to help you get the knees a little closer to the floor, we're just going to hold here for 3 breaths. Nice job. Okay. Bring the knees up and into the chest. You're going to make a little circle to massage the lower back. Go the opposite way. Now rock and roll yourself up. We're going to find our weights. We're going to do a bit more arm work before we get into our core here. So lying down with your weights over the chest. We're going to start with some presses. So make sure before you go that your wrists are nice and neutral. Let the back of the arms touch the floor. Press it back up. So 3 or 4 counts down, 3 or 4 counts up. That's how slow you're going. You can change up the angle of the elbows if you're wanting a little more of a challenge. They can either come straight out to the side or a little closer into the body. Maybe you do one of each, but whatever you're doing, keep it slow. Nice and flat on those shoulder blades. Now, when you get to the top, I want you to turn the palms so they face each other. So you're adding in a rotation before you start to go back down. Now just go straight up and down. Give me a few more. Now hold the arms up. You're going to do one at a time. Curls. Tricep extension. So no movement between the elbow and the shoulder. Just lower the weight down to the shoulder slowly and then extend the arm back up. One side at a time. And if you can do easily 15 of these, your weight is too light. Anywhere from 8 to 12 reps by the time you get to the end should be super hard. That's when you know you've got that right weight. One more on each side. And now we're going to put these weights down just for a sec to give ourselves a break. I'm going to grab a sip of water. So take it back down. Pull the knees into the chest. Arms are on the floor by your side. Let's get nice and flat on the shoulder blades. Now, I want you to move your knees over your hips. Flex your feet. So you have a 90-degree angle at the knee. Send that right heel slowly down to the floor, keeping the leg bent. And then bring it back up. And then send the left foot down, nice and slow. And just sort of keep alternating. Really try to keep that back down. You have 3 more on each side. This is really good for your pelvic core, your lower back, your abs, six-pack. The whole kit and caboodle. You gotta love doing these. One more on each leg. Should be getting harder to keep that back down. Okay, pull the knees in. Let's open the knees nice and wide and make circles. Now we're going to go the other way. Okay, last arm exercise for the day. We're going to do some flies. So let's get our weights. Lying back down, start with them centered over the chest, not the face. You open out, nice and slow, and then close. You don't really have much of a bend at the elbow, just a micro. Once you've done a few, you might be able to open a little wider. But the key here is to really control the descent. And then as you start to come back up, you want to give that chest a big old squeeze. Four more. Make them fabulous. Okay, let's put these weights down. So get yourself up, set them off to the side. We're gonna grab that wide band that we had before. You're gonna lie back down. You're just gonna do some flies with this band. So get a tight grip on it, open it as wide as you can, and then close it with lots of control. Using a band is always good for rehab, because you really have to control it. It's into all the little muscles and tendons. Make sure you're holding it where it's challenging for you and not super easy. This is really mobility work with a bit of resistance. I'm gonna do 5 more of these nice and slow. Last one. Okay, put the band off to the side. Rock and roll yourself up to a seated position. We're gonna do a 90-90 hip stretch, starting on the right side. So move your hip all the way over to the edge of the mat, 90-90 in both legs. Take the hands out in front of that front leg, and now we're just gonna walk it forward. Slowly, I'm only putting my fingertips down on the floor. I'm really trying to wait, mostly using my core strength to reach over that leg. When you can't walk the fingers any further out, see if you can lower the elbows to the floor and just kind of flex the spine over that front leg. Take 2 really big deep breaths. Now get back onto those fingertips, lift the elbows up, baby steps back with the hands. And now you're going to post this right hand by the right leg, left one behind you. I want you to lift your left knee up as high as you can till you're flat on that foot. Put it back down slowly. Do it again. Lift. Each time you lift it, you might be able to get it a little further. One more. And now we're going to do 90-90 facing the other way. So just take both legs over. So now you're facing the back of the room. You're going to walk it out, fingertips only. When you can't go anymore, hold there and then lower the elbows, hang out over that front leg. Come off the elbows, back onto your fingertips. Walk it back up. Post this left hand, then the right one behind you. Now you're lifting the right leg up. Try to get flat on that foot, and then slowly bring it back down. Do it again. And one more time. As high as you can get it, and then take both legs forward. So now you're facing the front. You're going to post both hands just in front of that front leg. You're going to lift your back heel up and lower it. Lift and lower. Really getting a big activation into that butt cheek. Try not to lean too far to the right. Couple more lifts, and then we're going to do the same thing on the other side. Okay, so post the left hand behind you, roll it so you're facing the back of the room again. And then start lifting and lowering the right leg. Try not to lean too far left. Okay, bring both knees back forward. Bring both heels to the corners of your mat. Sit up nice and tall, so no rounding of the lower back. Extend the arms out in front. You're going to C curve now and round back down. Get that belly in. Come down nice and slowly. Send the arms all the way back. Pull them forward, lift the head, roll it back up. Now you're going to dive between the legs. Stay there for one deep breath. And then roll it back down. Send the arms back, bring them forward, roll up. You're between the legs, hanging out for a nice big deep breath. And then send it back. Okay, I want you to step your feet in. So you're in a bridge position with your legs. Arms are just relaxing by your side. You're going to tilt your pelvis all the way up. And then roll it all the way down. Just keep going nice and slow. I want you to do this 10 times. Remember, the more we move our bodies through these joints, the more blood flow, flexibility. It's just overall, it's just good. You just gotta move. Okay, on the last one, you're gonna bridge it right up into a bridge. And your feet should be nice and close to your butt. Press up through those heels. Hold here. So keep trying to push the hips up a little higher. The glutes are really active. I want you to lift your toes up off the floor. Maybe the pads of the feet. And then step your feet out a little bit. So you're just walking the heels forward a little, one at a time. Trying to keep the hips up. Walk them out a little further. So the further we move our feet forward, the more of the leg you use. So instead of just being a glute exercise, you're working your hamstrings, your core. Let's try it again. Move the feet forward. Keep your butt off the floor. You're on your heels. Do it again. Now, we're just going to hold here. And I want you to bring your knees in together and then open them back out. Open them as far as they can go. And then squeeze them in. And open. It's a lot of work for the hamstrings and the glutes and the inner thighs. Keep pressing your belly down. You have 4 more. Big squeeze of those knees. Last 2, nice and slow. Okay, put your butt down, extend the legs all the way out. Point your toes. Send the arms backwards with your palms facing up towards the ceiling. Now bring the hands all the way forward till they touch the floor and send them back. Just a few more times. Bring them back by your side, let them relax. Step your feet back in. We're going to transition right to a figure 4 stretch. So right foot sits on top of left thigh. Pick the left foot up. Bring the left knee in towards you. Move the right knee forward. Assist with the hands. Try to get the knee in a little closer. Hold here for 5 big breaths. Okay, release the hands. You're gonna slide your right knee right over the left knee. You're gonna grab the outsides of both your feet and use your hands to pull the feet in towards you. 5 deep breaths. And try lifting the feet up a little bit to change up the angle, but you're still driving them towards you. Okay, uncross, both feet are back down on the floor. Now your left foot's gonna sit over the right thigh. Move that left knee forward as you pick the right foot up off the floor. Keep that foot flexed. You're gonna use your hands to help you get the knee in a little closer. Keep breathing. Okay, let's slide the left knee over the right. Grab hold of the outsides of the feet. Pull those knees in nice and close. 5 big deep breaths. Try to pick the feet up a little bit, maybe lower them back down. Whatever feels good. Okay, uncross the legs. Send both feet up towards the ceiling. Arms are relaxing by your side. You're gonna slowly lower the right leg down. Keep that low back skin pressing into the floor. Once the heel is just above the floor and the leg nice and long, bring it back up. Do the same with the left. Make sure the leg is nice and straight and you're pushing out from the heel. And when both feet are at the top, open the legs nice and wide. Bring them back together. Do that a few more times. And hug both knees into the chest. Keep them together as you make a nice circle. Go the other way. Put your feet on the floor, hip width apart. Send the knees to the right. Bring them up. Send them to the left. Do that a few more times, just rolling over your glutes. Okay, legs go all the way out, arms go all the way back. We're gonna roll up Pilates style, lift the head, tuck the chin, draw the belly down. Take it between the legs. Hang out here for a nice deep breath. And now you're gonna come back up. We're gonna bring the feet in. We're getting nice and high on the toes. So really lift those heels. And now meet in a full forward fold. And you're gonna roll up one vertebrae at a time. Nice and slowly. Big deep breath. And I thank you so much. We are done. Woohoo! It's officially a party.